In recent weeks, natural phenomena such as cloudbursts and flash floods have wreaked havoc in Himalayan region, first in Dharali, Uttarakhand, and now in Kishtwar, Jammu and Kashmir region, leading to heavy loss of lives and livelihood. Let's understand what is cloudburst and what we can do to better prepare for it in future. To better understand the phenomena of cloudburst, let's first understand the cloud formation. The moist air from the surface carrying the moisture rises up. When they rise up, they cool down. Cooling leads to the condensation of water vapor, leading to the formation of clouds. So this is a simple natural phenomena. What happens in hilly regions? Because of the slopes, because of the hill, moist air rises rapidly. They rise rapidly and they cool down rapidly too, leading to the formulation of cumulonimbus cloud. And this is a very important term to understand, this cumulonimbus cloud. They are vertically growing cloud carrying a lots of moisture, and that is why when the saturation point reaches, when they cannot hold any more moisture, they release the moisture all at once to a very small region, and that is what cloudburst is. So the mountain slope forces moist air to rise quickly. The air cools rapidly, forming tall cumulonimbus clouds. These dense clouds are often linked to thunderstorms and cloudbursts. In normal rainfall, the clouds are spread across the region, and so the rainfall also over a wider region. While in cloudbursts, we have cumulonimbus cloud, which is a vertically growing cloud. They release all the moisture to a localized area, sometimes more than 100 mm per hour. Now let us look at the geography of Dharali and Kishtwar. Dharali is in Harsil Valley, Uttarkashi district near Bhagirathi river. So it is at a high altitude in the Garhwal Himalaya, surrounded by steep mountain slopes. This region is influenced by both southwest monsoon and occasional western disturbances which can overlap and intensify rainfall. Then there is this Bhagirathi river, which is a young Himalayan river. It is steep, fast flowing and prone to flash floods when sudden rainfall increases the water volume. And this region has a history of cloudburst incident recorded multiple times in the last 2 decades, often linked to road blockages, bridge washouts and crop destruction. If we look at Kishtwar, Jammu and Kashmir, it also sits in a narrow valley along the Chenab river basin with streams and nalas feeding into the main river. Here also monsoon moisture from the south and moisture from western system coverage comes here, creating unstable air masses. The Chenab is fed by numerous small streams, so even a localized downpour upstream can cause sudden surges downstream. This region also has the history of flash floods and landslides in 2021 and now in 2025, which destroyed homes and displaced hundreds. And this geography plays a very specific role in cloudburst. The steep slope accelerates the condensation rate. Narrow valleys funnel floodwaters, intensifying their destructive force, while the melting glaciers and moraine-dammed lakes in nearby regions can worsen flash floods if breached during heavy rain. And finally, the deforestation and construction reduces the slope stability, leading to landslides when heavy rain hits. So the historical patterns and the geography of this region suggest that most cloudbursts occur in July and September when monsoon winds are strongest. And these are some repeat locations. Certain valleys like Harsil and Varwan in Kishtwar have seen recurring events due to persistent local wind and moisture patterns. Earlier events were less destructive due to sparse populations. Now with more settlements, roads and hydro projects, the damage has multiplied. Plus the constant in-stream of tourists and pilgrims. Even though the continuous rain should deter them, and there should be some warning system to prevent people from coming to this region during this season, but in the absence of that, there were large number of pilgrims going to the Machli Mata, which became victim to this flash flood. So what should be the strategy for the future to minimize the damage? First, the focus should be on land use and planning, which is the biggest lever. We need to specify the red zone, the fans and floodways. No new homes, shops, hotels or camps on debris, flow fans, nala floodplains or old river paths. Relocate the most exposed clusters in phases with fair compensation. Dharali's debris fan should be a textbook no build zone. We need to maintain a buffer where the channel can move during floods. And then there should be micro zoning for pilgrim routes. We need to identify safe staging points on higher benches, ridges, ban large kitchen tents in channels, learning from Kishtwar 2025. Next is early warning and communication. Although it's not possible to guess the timing of cloudbursts, but dense gauges and radar nowcasting with more automatic rain gauges in small side valleys using Doppler radar nowcast to push hyperlocal alerts. 30 to 90 minute lead is often enough to clear a floodway. There should be multi-channel alerts, sirens plus loudspeaker plus cell broadcast SMSs plus volunteer runs. Plan for no single hamlets, a known issue in Dhachan. Keep wireless backups at village chalks and pilgrim camps. We need to understand the simple triggers. If rain rate is more than X mm per hour upstream or stream rises more than Y centimeter in 10 minutes, close bridges, evacuate floodways and stop traffic. So government needs to set these simple triggers, learning from the weather system of that region. Most of the damage were caused because of the debris. So engineering for debris rich floods needs to be done. So debris control works in side valleys, check dams, sabo dams, boulder nets and silt basin size for boulder transport with regular desilting. Bridge design and placement. We need to avoid low, pier heavy bridges in debris corridors. Prefer high clearance, single span with protected abutments and sacrificial approaches. And river training where justified, only where it protects critical assets, a single lifeline road and with room for rivers, not hard walls that simply push erosion downstream. We can use our satellite floods, field watch for glacial lakes, hanging glaciers, landslide dams in upstream pockets. If a pocket lake appears, like the post-flood lake near Harsil, cut controlled spillways and keep patrols until it drains safely. And lastly, community preparedness. There should be evacuation drills twice a year, pre-monsoon and peak monsoon. Signage everywhere, floodway, move to ridge, no night halt beyond this point in rain, nearest safe mount 6-minute walk like this. Pilgrimage management, real-time head counting, cap daily inflow, rain cut-off rules and pre-surveyed refuge mounts every few kilometers, especially on Machali Mata and Char Dham routes. So these are some ways through which we can be prepared for these kinds of natural disasters. Thanks for watching.